Kevin, do you remember the intro to the show?
Of course I do, because everything we do on the show that we're currently starting apparently is perfect, and we're amazing at it. So, this is 40 Days and 40 Nights, a terrible, horrible video production that sometimes we put on. They told us not to start a podcast, and this is what we decided to do instead. But today, we're joined by special guest star, John. Yay.
John is our number one fan next to Alyssa. And they are the reason we continue to make these shows.
They are only fans.
We watch every video. Possibly twice.
It's been a sparse couple weeks of content for our two loyal and only viewers. But here we are, and we're back. And as always, I'm joined by Grammy award-winning artist Sarah.
And this is co-host Kevin.
Yep, nailed it. I wasn't sure about Grammy award-winning artist at first because I thought, is that really a position of a title? But then I couldn't think of anything better, so here we are.
No, I like it.
Sarah, you want to tell us what we're doing today?
So, I mean, I'm about to throw it. Well, do we have any announcements? Because it's been a couple. Because we didn't talk about announcements. We are at 14 subscribers.
Oh wow!
Which is insane.
Too many.
I don't know who they are, who's watching this.
It's got to be your family, right?
No, I think it was because John referenced this show in our college friends high school or college friends Google Meets a couple of weeks ago. And then at least two of them went and subscribed. Maybe. Someone is Cavs fan. I'm pretty sure that's Tyler.
It's probably Tyler.
Yeah. So Tyler, if you're watching this, thanks. Thanks for watching.
I'm glad Sarah is popular.
It was mainly because of John's endorsement. I was gonna let this show just slide.
I want to see all 40 episodes.
And this is episode 10, which is kind of a milestone.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we double digits.
Double digits.
One there.
Wow. But yeah, so thank you to our subscribers. Besides John and Alyssa, I know Nate watches these. I'm pretty sure my mom does. These are also important people. So thanks for the views and for the support.
We love those views.
We love those views.
Mm-hmm.
John actually, I wanted to bring him on because he, is such a great viewer of these things, but it was kind of his idea of what he wanted to do. So John, do you want to explain what you're going to do here?
So at the end of every episode that I watch, I make a list for Sarah of all my commentary on the episodes. So this kind of bred the idea that I like lists. And so I made you guys a list of lists for us to go through. They're not necessarily my favorite lists or the best lists. They're just lists.
Oh man, lists are so good. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Can't see how this will go wrong. And I'm sure, as always, we'll make our time limit of 5 minutes, which we've clearly blown by already. But as Reggie Fils-Aimé once said, my body is ready.
Oh man.
Oh, this is such a beautiful PowerPoint.
It's stunning.
Oh wow. Already outdone out the gates.
So I chose this PowerPoint template because we're not allowed to go outside and it has flowers like you would see outside. So this is my list of lists. I think appropriately, our first list is all of the introductions to date on 40 Days and Nights. Kevin is very varied in his introductions, and Sarah a little bit less so.
Wait, was I the only host in episode 7? So I just said me.
No, no, you introduced yourself first.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
No.
So I went and rewatched the beginning of every episode to pump up your
Amazing.
views, but also to gather some more information.
Wow.
Wow.
We've come a long way.
Tonight
Been a
Show
long
Animal Handler was man, that was just the one where the lizard was running around the whole time, right? The gecko.
It was, yes. That's why you
That's
introduced yourself.
amazing.
I was thinking that the episode just might be you and the lizard chatting for a tight five, but
Yeah.
We can do that one later on day 30.
That's a day 41 kind of episode.
Absolutely.
John, we originally discussed when we were planning on what these were that we'd have 40 days, which were like wholesome comment, and then 40 nights, which
Ooh.
were like the dark web side.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, it's also just still us, so it would be just as wholesome. It'd just be night.
You
What
just
do
turn
we
off
say?
the lights.
We were gonna
Yeah.
like do like guess your own ASMR, and then we were like, that's a little like 40 nights. So whenever something's like a little too edgy, like it's in the 40 nights category.
Just a little edgy.
So I
Are you
think
still planning to do 80 episodes, or are we going to keep it to 40?
I don't know yet. It's kind of like the type 5 thing. You know, you say a type 5 and you have no idea what that means.
Yeah. No one knows the number 40, so
Yeah.
no one's ever counted that high. So
That's
Mm.
fair. Okay, so here's my list of introductions.
great.
Next, we have one of my favorite YouTube videos. I didn't want to play it because here for a long time. If you look, the whole video is 35 minutes.
Yep. Mhm.
But I encourage you all to check it out. These are some of my favorite ways to love a cat. They're all great.
They are very good. I really like the ones you've called out.
The don't
That's fine.
squeeze their paws hard is nice.
Yeah, they really don't like that.
No, John,
feel
I'm
like
confused because you're getting a dog, but I would have for sure pegged you to be getting a cat.
Well, I had a cat
Right.
from like 8 to 20 something. But Alyssa does not want a cat. Her mom is allergic to cats, and so
Mm,
we're getting a dog.
okay.
But I
Do
also
you
like
know what
dogs.
kind of dog?
We're getting a golden retriever. It's
Lovely.
going to be born in like the next week or so. I don't remember when, but yeah, it'll be good.
Awesome.
Baby dog.
Dog.
Yeah, so
cute.
we're excited.
Okay.
I feel like Whisper I Love You is just kind of how everyone interacts with every pet they've ever had.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Cats
that's true.
maybe,
I mean,
though.
even Sarah and I, we had ideological differences with the rabbit, but we did love that rabbit.
It's
Mhm.
fair.
I often whispered that I loved that rabbit to him.
You did.
I guess a lot of these are probably applicable to the rabbit as well.
Hmm. Well, he didn't meow a lot, but
You did have a step of his own.
he did have his own. That's true. He didn't meow so much as he tripped over things or skittered about in the night in terrifying ways. Which is terrifying because you forget sometimes because he's so quiet.
Mhm.
That's fair. What
He-
noises do rabbits make?
What noises?
I
Yeah.
think rabbits, I think they actually, like, if they produce a noise, it sounds like screaming,
That's
which is very
Can you
scary.
demonstrate?
Oh, it
I'll
really
find
is.
an audio clip. I'll play that over the top of this.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can hear it now. But no, it's very spooky if I remember. It's like very shrieky. But most of the time they just don't make any noise naturally unless they like run into something or bump something and then kind of run into their metal cage a little bit more.
It's just the collision noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of what they make is sounds of impact.
He thumped his butt.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, like Thumper from Bambi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is anatomically accurate to what rabbits do. And what's fun is when I come home late at night, he doesn't like that. So then
Ooh.
he thumps but he thumps loud. Like it sounds like someone is hitting the wall.
Mhm.
And that is always jarring at nighttime.
Nobody else should be up.
No, there was that one time I was locked out of the house and I was trying to get Reggie to open the door because it was around 3 in the morning. And I didn't want to wake up Kevin because it was spring break for me, but he had a work day. And,
God.
and Kevin eventually woke up to the sound of me calling for Reggie through the mail slot.
Yeah.
Reggie,
Because as you know, rabbits cannot open doors.
he could have gotten you.
That's true. But then he would have woken me up, which was
That's
in
true.
theory against your plan.
To be fair, I knocked on Kevin's window. It was to no avail.
I eventually woke up though. You knocked on my window?
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
So that's 100 Ways to Love a Cat.
Yeah.
100 Ways to Love a Cat. Next, we have trashy television shows that I've watched this last year.
Oh, I'm so excited for this one.
We have a fun animation.
Beautiful.
So,
Wow. Tiger King and Love is Blind are like the it, I guess, trashy TV shows right now.
I'm sorry. Addition. Has anyone heard of Too Hot to Handle? Because that is number one trending on Netflix.
I've seen the ads on Netflix, but I have not delved into that garbage pail yet.
I just watched it. It is awful.
Now, what does that even mean?
Too Hot to Handle?
Yeah.
Too Hot to Handle is they took, I apologize for the copyright. They took like 11, 10, a mix of guys and gals from different countries. These are all like very physically attractive people.
Okay.
And they offer them a prize of $100,000. However, no one on the island can do anything physical with anybody else, from like kissing to anything further. And when they do, they lose money for everyone in the group. So these are people chosen because they are, who even knows how the choosing process goes. They are very, very bad at forming any form of an emotional connection. So they don't know how to speak to other people. So it's like they have their smooth one-liners that have like worked for them, but then when they can't do the second part in the master plan, like they just fall apart. And then antics ensue. And so that's what I just watched. Nate was horrified by it.
It sounds horrifying.
It was, but I would. Looking for more, John. It's only 8 episodes.
Okay.
Today's episode, again, is brought to you by Too Hot to Handle on Netflix.
All right. So, John, walk me through some of these.
So, 90 Day Fiance is all about people coming over from other countries and getting married to someone in the U.S. The best thing about the show is they don't wait to come over until they know they're going to get married. They come over and then decide if they're going to get married. And so ensues a lot of drama. Most of the people are just kind of terrible. There's occasionally a couple or two that you root for. I think I've watched like 5 seasons of that this year. And of the latest season, I think there was like one couple that I liked. Everyone else you're actively rooting against.
How many couples are on one season?
I think the latest one had like 6 or 7.
Okay, so the odds aren't absolutely horrible.
No.
Okay, there we go.
My grandma loves 90 Day Fiance. She tells me about it every time I go to her house.
It's an entertaining show.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Another good Netflix one to go with your Too Hot to Handle is Age Gap Love. It's a 4-part British documentary series about people who have a large gap in their romantic relationships. And so you have some people who are 20 and their partner is 70. Some that are a little bit more modest, where it's 25 and 60. It's all about their daily struggles and how they handle being married to someone 2 or 3 times their age. It's a great show.
I'm not surprised someone made a reality show out of that, because I do feel like that's a situation people are like, oh, there's drama there. But
some
also,
of them there's drama, and some of them it's just like you're just weird.
Yeah, it feels like part of that could be just like, oh, this isn't that interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for this. Like, there's like everyone has like a 30-minute bit.
That's good.
It's like you get to go into like how weird they are, and then you back up, and you're good to go.
There you go. Good to go. In and out. 20-minute adventure.
And I don't think we can leave this slide without talking about Tiger King.
I don't think anyone can leave anywhere without talking about Tiger King.
I think you're right. Not only is it a wonderful show with great people that are very nice and kind and generous, it's also the most accurate description of Oklahoma in film ever made. There's one particular scene where Joe Exotic is out on a four-wheeler with his shotgun, and he is out in the middle of an intersection, sees a tornado, makes a smart aleck comment, turns around and rides off screaming. And that encompasses the state very well.
I can see that. Sarah, have you watched Tiger King?
I'm on episode 2.
Oh, okay.
Episode 2.
I have not seen.
It's too hot to handle, but now I'm back.
Okay.
Got sidetracked.
Kevin, you should also watch Tiger King.
That's what I've been hearing. I'm not much for the documentaries and reality shows, but everyone's talking about Tiger King.
I think it's less of a documentary reality show and more of just like a cult film. Like, I think it's just going to be like
it's just what we remember.
Your hat on in American history that this was released during this pandemic.
I can't wait for the live theater viewing that this inspires, much like the Rocky Horrors and The Room of today. Wow.
Both are.
There you go. A little homework for me.
There you go.
Another very solid list.
Okay, our next list is from this wonderful calendar that Sarah got me for Christmas. So this is 30 ways to say bagpipes.
I mean, you'd almost think that they just kind of say bagpipes. You wouldn't think it'd have to become, it almost doesn't seem like you'd have to like nationalize that into your own language.
You'd think not, but like, especially like, I don't know, Welsh, where they're pretty close to the Scottish people. Like, you think they could just borrow the word.
Oh, and true to every Welsh word I've ever seen, a confusing array of L's, which really, if I know anything about the Welsh language, which is nothing, two L's sometimes make a TH sound. That could be like Pibitho, but it could also be not that. If we have any Welsh viewers, I'm sure they might be better.
A lot of Welsh, and he's going to be really excited that we stayed out of all of these, that we really focused on the Welsh word here. He's going to be very excited to learn the Welsh word for bagpipes.
It's good he's one of our viewers.
And he's pretty good at it, to be honest, for basically going off of Duolingo.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Oh.
Why did Nate take an interest in Welsh?
Nate, if you want to describe why you took an interest in Welsh, feel free to put it in the comment section. If I had to guess, Welsh is kind of a not like fantasy-esque language, but I think like with D&D, there's like some words that would be kind of fun to like do wordplay off of, or like mix in things. I also think it is complex enough where he can, kind of like think about it for a long time. And it's fun to say, and it's an accent that he didn't already have in his back pocket. So I think by learning the language, he could kind of figure out the accent with it. I am just guessing. I don't.
So Nate, fill us in.
Nate?
Can't wait to hear from you.
He's gonna be really mad that he's got like 15 more minutes of work, and he's like not here for this.
Oh wow.
So we have 2 slides of my haircuts over the years.
I like the little picture shake.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. So you can see we started with the standard baby cut.
Classic. Timeless.
Yep. Moved on towards the 90s child cut.
I am wondering, what is this cardigan you're wearing in the second photo?
You know, I don't know.
It's very interestingly patterned.
It is.
Overall a very dapper outfit for picture day.
Yeah. I think it works well with the shirt underneath.
Yeah, it does. I definitely was not wearing something that put together in grade school picture day photos.
Yeah, I doubt I picked it up myself, but
well, I didn't pick out my clothes either, probably. Well, no, it's possible.
The next picture, I don't think really shows a different haircut, but I just enjoy the picture.
Meeting some deer.
Meeting some deer. A little bit older in the last picture. The pumpkin, actually. My mom made me a deal for Halloween that I could get whatever pumpkin I could get back to the car. And so I found the biggest pumpkin on the pumpkin lot and rolled it back to the car. And then sweet talked the guy at the checkout to put it in the car for me because my mom still said no. And so I came home with the biggest pumpkin on the lot.
You are smirking in that.
I know. I was very proud of myself. Still proud of myself.
That's a classic mother mistake to accidentally challenge a child.
Yes. So for part 2 of our list, we move into middle school and college, and then now, essentially. So middle school, I got annoyed with somebody who cut my hair, and I stopped getting my hair cut. And it just kind of got a little long. And that kind of stayed throughout high school. Time I got to college, I was pulling a full Kevin, and it went pretty far before getting it cut summer after freshman year of college. Yeah. And here we go.
This is how I remember John. Like, this is how I met John, is that second picture. And so, like, that's my primary memory of early John, is that. Where are you in that shot?
That's the stairs going down to the Fisher basement.
That's why I thought, because I can kind of recognize the carpet.
Yeah.
You really pull off the full range of haircuts here, I have to say. It
I
really.
think I might go backwards a step just because I can't get my hair cut in the middle of the quarantine. But I also think I might wake up with my hair cut by somebody else if I get close to that. We'll see.
Unknown. Who knows? We'll have to solve that mystery when we get there.
Well done.
Okay.
This is a short one.
Sporting events that I attended while in college. Obviously a huge sports fan. Yeah. I went to one lacrosse game in support of Sarah Davis with a group of my friends. And that was it.
Now, did Sarah and Co win that game?
Yeah.
Was that a success?
I didn't even know if I stayed till the end of the game.
That's fair.
So I'm not sure. They probably won.
Sarah feels pretty confident that they won.
I remember. I do think I remember it. I think we won. It was good. It was actually really sweet. A large number of them came out to watch it. It was like many more people than I expected.
We were easily like a quarter of the crowd.
Yeah.
If not more.
That sounds about right.
It was one of the more touching things that happened in college.
I don't think I ever went to a lacrosse game.
Oh my God.
So for our next list, I think it deserves a little bit of introduction.
I missed the spoiler.
I know. It began sophomore year of college. Sarah began doing some strange things, and I began to record them and send them to her as I observed them happening.
Which is important. It was written as a list, an ongoing list to me.
Yes. So here is that list.
Oh man.
I've highlighted several that we can go over. I have a second slide with these ones highlighted.
Oh my gosh, this just keeps going.
So this is a while.
Really Likes Best is very accurate.
God.
Waltzes. Waltzes is a good verb.
It was fairly accurate. She was kind of dancing in.
Is traumatized by a roly-poly.
Wow.
So this is the list. It's wonderful. It took me probably 30 to 45 minutes to get the list to scroll like this.
Yeah, I can't imagine that is, I'm sure, not an easy effect to animate as fluidly as it is.
This goes through like 3 different people that I dated. Like you can
Sure.
literally watch like the progress of this.
Unfortunately,
Sure.
the list ended before Nate came along, and so
Oh my god.
I like how it goes a solid 5 minutes in a kanji with a pair, is then echoed later by likes pairs.
I think this is all like the same exchange. But
This is just an hour-long period observation.
I think it was.
Pants.
So
I remember this.
and pictures. So my selected numbers from the list are number 1, the one that started it all. Sarah took a pear out of her lunch bag and started to eat it, but then stopped eating it, but didn't set it down. So it just stayed in her mouth for a while.
Table was dirty.
Of course, why wouldn't it be?
That would be a good explanation, but she instead decided that it was artsy,
Mm-hmm.
and that was her defense. Hence number 4.
Yep.
I don't know if this is still a thing, but Sarah also really likes vests, or at least used to like vests, and would wear them all the time. So whenever I would see Sarah in a vest, I would send her number 15.
Really likes that.
I really like vests.
Like I have 3 or 4 vests, like fall vests meant for jackets. There was a jean jacket that I wore a lot in college. That was a vest. Which I do have.
Which we can't break out again.
Which in short, I do like vests. I still do.
Yes.
What's a fun thing to like?
I don't remember the context between 20 and 21. I was hoping to get some clarity on that.
Thinks she's a gangster and lives on the streets.
Gosh, street smarts.
I mean, like, I am sure, given around the time period that this was in high school or college, like, this was absolutely when I slept for like 3 hours a night and like was just like always gone or like in some state of delirium or like there's a lot of things. I don't know what. Man, thinks she's a gangster and lives on the streets. I'm not sure.
I think 21 is directly related to 20,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember the exact context.
I don't know either. The world may never know unless we go back through and find the exact time when you sent that to me and see if there's any context clues. But it might just be history.
I do really like that you live on the streets.
Seats?
Streets?
Seats.
It's a very fun typo. Streets?
Which mug?
You know, I don't know, but I know you have a lot of strange mugs. Part of me thinks it was a beaker mug,
Okay, I have that.
but I don't know for sure. That's like what my gut says is beaker mug.
my top two, I have a glass beaker mug, but I think I won that later in
Okay.
college, like junior year. I'm
This
betting
could be junior year.
by 28. I need to look at the context of the other one. But I think it was the time during sophomore year when we all went pottery painting, and I painted that
Mm,
with like the penguin coming out of it.
no, I think that's right.
I truly think that's what it is because I have that. I was just looking at that mug.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So that makes sense. I don't like 40 because I did a good job at Brosis Brunch and I want that known.
This list certainly tells a different story. So I gotta ask, as a hard-hitting investigative journalism, why you hate sisters and brothers so much so, and why do you hate brunch, Sarah? What's
I
that about?
love brunch. I love Brosis Brunch. When Brosis Brunch was on Saturdays, I was most likely at tennis because it was a Saturday, which is when we would play the tennis.
That's ridiculous. Because if you're playing tennis on Saturday, I'm sure your friends would have gone to watch you play tennis.
Yeah, they were at brunch.
No, you probably didn't play tennis because John only saw one sporting event.
It's true.
I rest
Okay.
my case.
Do you remember 46?
I don't. I was hoping you did, is why I selected it.
I do. So this probably see, but Boulder was the end of sophomore year. So far everything is still sophomore year.
That's impressive.
An intense year of observation.
So I would say for the Boulder, when we had SIPO, our mailboxes, I got an anonymous letter that said, Sarah Davis, you're the Boulder. It was like
Yes.
it was like a typed, but it wasn't signed from anyone. And I remember being really spooked because I didn't know what this was or what it meant or anything like that. And I think the reason you put it on the list, I'm not sure if you remember this. I was standing in our cafeteria holding it, and this dude, Tim Lazar, who I'm sure will never see these, never find these, came up to me and he was like, "Oh, is that someone asking you to Presball banquet? Want like something you would ask someone to?" And I was like, "I hope not, because no one signed it." And I did. This was an unknown mystery for months until I mentioned it out loud in a group, and Max stated, "Oh, I sent you that," because he'd been naming all of his Pokemon after people, and he named me after his Geodude because I was like very like solid. And so he called me the Boulder for a long time. And that is why John wrote Boulder.
Why didn't he sign the card? Max, why didn't you sign the card?
Why didn't you sign the card? Put it in the comments.
Yeah. Or just text us, we're interested.
All right. So now 56, I think, is junior year. This is when we were doing that giant paper.
See, I don't know if it was, I guess it must have been junior year because it was either junior year or senior year. But based on the timing, I'm thinking junior year.
Because Switch is halfway. I think it was the one where me, you, and Nathaniel were writing it. And then John I would like switch fonts.
Yeah. So I was editing the paper and we all had to like submit signed. We had to like print out a paper copy and like submit it to the professor and like see that we all edited it. It's like halfway through Sarah's paper, something looks weird. Like line spacing is a little different. The margins are about the same, but the font just looks weird. And so I like draw a line through the paper and we check on your computer later. And sure enough, you had switched fonts somehow halfway through the paper without noticing.
Just feeling it.
Yeah.
As you do.
Got bored. Okay, so there's the Little Jaunt to the Art Museum is a classic Facebook album. I didn't know it was a more improved sense of what was artsy, but I'll take that as a compliment.
It's fine. Yeah.
That's good. Eaten by a giraffe sounds traumatizing.
That's a post I had on Facebook, I think. It's where I was like feeding a giraffe.
Hmm.
And it looked like it was coming from my head.
Fortunately, Sarah's still here.
And then make a travel blog, which
You had a travel blog. I just wanted to know if it's still up and running.
it still exists. I need to figure out. So when I went to Israel, I started writing a travel blog, and it was actually really nice. But because I didn't want to have to carry it around, I didn't bring my laptop. So for a few days, I was doing it all like on my phone. Like I would like type out like a blog entry, and it was really difficult because I was taking pictures on a DSLR camera, and I wanted to like embed the pictures, but I didn't have a way to go from phone or like camera to phone. So then I was like, I'll do this all when I get home. And then I was like, no, I will not. So I made it through like 8 days of travel blogging. I believe it's called, I think I called it GPS, the global position of Sarah. And if I can find, if I can find it, I'll put a link in the info section.
There we
Wow.
go.
No,
So
it's
much
still there.
content.
Probably. It was free.
Right.
Yeah, that was cute. I'll post that.
Our last list is the conclusion list that lists all of our other lists.
Dang straight.
Very fitting. In case anyone was forgetting which lists we already went through.
It's a good summary list.
Oh, the introduction list was fun. I didn't even think about it as the double joke of being the first list too. It's just too clever.
It's pretty intended.
Yeah.
John, you did a good job.
In
I like
case
that.
it went by anyone else's heads, now everyone can kind of appreciate the cleverness that went into that as the first one. But yeah, wow, that is a lot of lists.
All good lists.
All good lists.
Wow, today we did a lot. We looked at a
Today we
lot
learned
of different pieces of content. Each one of these lists could have been its own 5-minute show, and instead they're all fused together in this 45-minute one.
in this tight 45-minute video.
No, it's perfect. I love it. I'm excited. I'm like not going to edit this because there's nothing I would edit out except for me searching for that blog post.
It's fair.
Yeah, I mean, as always, just a perfect execution.
Oh god.
It was fun to see some of the introductions that I've given because I forgot basically all of them other than Space Marine.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that's literally the only one I remember. Even now, thinking back on it, don't remember a lot of them, but I remember thinking, huh, look at that. Look how far we've come. 10 episodes.
10 episodes. Need to like do like a little.
Usually people get this nostalgic when they hit like their 100th, but here we are.
It feels like it's been 100 days. So it's actually
Been like 40,
38.
maybe 38.
Mm-hmm.
You could call it good. Wait 2 days to post it.
Yeah,
Be done forever.
We are done. 40 midnight.
as the lawyers say, we met the brief. Not sure that's a lawyer thing, but that's certainly a saying.
I did this.
Oh man,
I made this in some
I made this.
Photoshop thing.
What site are we using to blog here?
This is Blogspot.
A classic.
So this is day 5. Here's where I reference cats.
Wow.
Because there's cats everywhere in Israel. Cat.
I mean,
Cat.
and looking at the costume design and stage makeup for the I guess that's the live show, right?
Yes.
movie wasn't out yet.
It's
Yeah.
always wild. And
Yeah.
they have contoured the heck out of that guy's face.
And then here's my pictures. Here's this fun little wombat thing.
Posing.
Snacking.
Wait, who commented on your blog?
It's anonymous. So if anyone wants to fess up to that,
In case anyone now, 4 or 5 years later, wants to let Sarah know.
Oh yeah, here was me. Oh wow, this is when I documented the 12-hour and I gave myself like mental health scores.
Is this the flight over or the flight back?
This is the flight over. So like here's what I was like doing.
30 minutes of both Frozen and Big Hero. Both like amazing films. So
Nothing against the films, but animated is like very bright, a lot of colors.
this is true.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow, I got so many comments. This one got removed, so this was probably something bad.
Well, that one's
If it
Melissa.
Yeah, this is Melissa. Oh, who I know. I know Melissa. I went to a Jewish Seder at her house.
That's
Yeah.
nice. I'm sure that comment was fine. They probably just removed it. Why'd you give off that blogging lifestyle with your 3
That
comments?
blog was getting more views than this, and I'm more willing to keep this going.
Yeah, but it's about the joy, right? That's okay because people don't come here for good or learning.
This is not
People come here to
escape.
yeah, to watch us set rules for ourselves that we intentionally break. Or to watch us assign random avatar characters for the other to draw.
Those are both really good.
Good episode.
I was very impressed.
Can't believe we both settled on Avatar, but well, as always, we did it. This has happened.
This has been 40 Days and Nights.
A very professional sign off. We'll keep this to a tight 5 next time, I think.